Yeah, this is Black Light once again coming to you on this night before Christmas or Christmas. And I wanted to point out something I had on my mind. Uh, two, two, two things I want to bring forth. Uh, Two subject matters I want to bring forth. Uh, Classism. The United States wasn't founded on classism. Uh, so they say. This is a constitution. It'll break down what they were thinking about. I also want to show you this book right here. It's the MGT Registration Nation of Islam, Temple Number One, my mother's book. The earliest digits in here was 10, 4, 10, 49. I was born in 1946. So that's a little over that's about 3 years uh, that my mother was going on a regular basis. Now, the first 3 years, uh, and even before, she was listening to my uncle, uh, you know, teachings and persuasion of joining the Nation of Islam. Uh, so I was hearing all this in the womb of my mother, and as an infant, I was hearing teachings. And I remember specifically this one meeting I went to as a child. I could have been about 5 or 4 or maybe 3. But anyway, I remember it was hot, man. It had to be in the summertime because it was hot. And on the blackboard was, I think my uncle, he was captain or something like that, or a lieutenant. He had some clouts. And this minister had the flag, the Nation of Islam flag, the American flag, and a brother being lynched on the blackboard. And they was and they said the War of Armageddon, and it was breaking it down. I was young, I remember that. I went to sleep, and a brother came around. I remember I had on a white shirt, white t-shirt, a white dress shirt with short sleeves. And the brother came and said, go and put some water on this brother's face. He need to hear this. Now, this is the early days, uh, a little over 10 years on the arrival of Master Farad Muhammad. Came in the 30s. This was, say, almost 16 years or 20, between 16 and 20 years later. I was born in 46. So I could say 46 is 16 years later from the teachings that Master Farad Muhammad gave to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I was hearing this, which was a very short period of time. The Nation of Islam was still in its growth, still growing today, but it was uh, in its infant stage. And then at the age of 7, my mother walked away from it, went back to the streets, and so did I, because I was only 7 years old. I had to go where Mama go, but I always rebelled. I always rebelled. Trying to find the righteous way or trying to find the right way, I went the wrong way. But my uncle was always there to pull my coat to the real happenings, which was Elijah. So I noticed things, you know. I noticed black people will always want to say, well, we all the same, you know. We not all the same, you know. You bleed like I bleed and all that. Man, forget that. Birds bleed like we bleed. Cats and dogs bleed like we bleed, but we not the same. uh, look, uh, there's always competition with the white man. Sports, you got sports and play. There's always a challenge. Boxing matches, football games, tennis matches, chess matches. Who is the best? You know. Matter of fact, sports is the #1 grossing industry in the United States. Football, basketball, baseball. Of who is the best? Who is the best man? They got educational challenges of who can spell the best. Uh, who is the smartest? Who is the best at anything? Who is the supreme man and what they want to do? You know, who is the supreme being? Who is the smartest? Who is the wisest? They have contests on this. You see what I'm saying? So there's always going to be somebody more wiser or more stronger than the next man. Black light out.